Yes, people. It's GG at GG on Wrestling on Twitter. Make sure you drop man a follow. Make sure you like the video and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're back again for more nominations for the GG on Wrestling Awards 2021. I have some esteemed friends, some trusted people in wrestling. I've asked to help me out with some nominations, and I will introduce my guest shortly. Before I do that, just remember the schedule for this week. So we've already had everybody else's nominations, mine, NK's, and Barry's, and we of course are going to go through Mex's nominations now. The Twitter poll will go up tomorrow, which is Christmas Eve. Make sure that you have your say. I want everyone involved. Please vote. Please comment. And yeah, share with your friends. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Before I introduce my guest, shout out Fig Tees. Make sure you hit up figtees.co.uk for all your custom figure shirts. Do loads of custom designs for all your wrestling figures. And if you use code GGPod, you can save yourself some money. So I want to introduce a good friend of mine. His name is Mex. He is a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. Thank you so much for joining me. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me. Time to talk about those guys and girls for the whole year.
WWE, yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah. So I got this in Secret Santa this week. Mex always calls me a WWE hater, so I thought I would.
I think it's not unfair, is it?
Well,
it's not like I'm calling you names.
Yeah, I guess it's true. It's true. Before we get into your nominations, I want to give you a quick award. So this year you have won the Wrestling Content Creator of the Year award.
Oh my
very
God.
reputable award. There is no prizes, only respect. But yeah, you deserve it. Your wrestling content is the best. Your podcast is brilliant too. Definitely shout out to you for your podcast. But check out Mex's channel, man. Like the tier list, the break it downs. Like there's so much good content on there that you are missing out on if you're not subscribed. His information will be below. Make sure you hit up Mex, man. One of the hardest working in the game, and yeah, his YouTube content is second to none. And
guys,
I mean, I'm not just saying that.
You're giving me goosebumps, but I
appreciate
it, man.
Honestly,
because
deserve it, bro.
Like, I ain't got no videos if it's not for the likes of yourself. It's not for the likes of wrestlings that come and join me and help me on my videos. There will be no video in it. So like it's a team effort. Obviously, yeah, the videos live on my page, but I appreciate all of you guys as well.
They're your brain children, man. These ideas, and like it's always a pleasure recording with you, and obviously Rest Things, big up them every time. But yeah, it's always good fun. But yeah, definitely good content, man. So well deserved award.
Thank you.
How have you felt about this year of wrestling? Been a good year, right?
It has been a very good year. You know, we've had some highs, real highs. We've had some lows, especially through, you know, things like the constant releases from WWE. But in general, this shift we kept saying that's gonna happen since AEW came into the picture, it continues to happen. It continues to, you know, make opportunities, create jobs for other people. The indies are back, you know, after the pandemic and stuff. The indies are thriving. So it's a very great time, very fun time to be a wrestling fan, wrestling content creator. The likes of us were being kept on our toes from, you know, all directions, everything that's happening. So yeah, man, I think we've been spoiled this year, to be honest.
100%. Yeah, man, it's been a crazy year. Like any immediate, without maybe giving too much spoilers on your picks, on your nominations, any immediate highlights for you in wrestling this year?
All Out. Watching All Out with you and the rest of the mandem and everything, like incredible. Like honestly, especially
definitely
after
check out Mex's video of our reactions, because you'll see for yourself the energy, like mad.
It's crazy. You know, especially after we had Double or Nothing, which was a good show. Revolution, I think, was when we had the disappointment of the death match not exploding or whatever. And they just gradually got better and stronger and told their stories that they've been trying to tell through the pandemic era over the years. And culminated with All Out, which I just think is just a fantastic pay-per-view. It is an example of how to do a pay-per-view, especially from people that, a company that doesn't do pay-per-views as often as WWE. So they make this show that, the last time we saw a pay-per-view was maybe 3 months ago. You made this one so special in every single way, from match quality to surprises. Just an example of how to do wrestling at its best. Like,
yeah, man. And one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views, not of the year, but of all time.
yeah,
Like,
100%.
if there was an award for best pay-per-view, that would win it hands down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's get straight into it. So you're going to give your nominations. We've already had nominations from everybody else, so you are the final one up. No pressure. And then the good fans of our channels are going to pick the winners, and I'll announce those on New Year's Eve. So first up, funniest moment of the year. I think you struggled a little bit with it, but have you got any honourable mentions for funny moments of the year? Anything that you've found entertaining?
For me, anything involving John Silver's gotta be funny. Even when recently him and Reynolds, they do the run up and down thing with the Young Bucks, but instead them guys came and kissed Adam Cole on the cheek.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
That stuff. What else was Eddie Kingston running in the car park, chasing CM Punk. To be honest, now that I think about it, that could have been it for me. But I went with an early one that happened. Do you want me to give my winner now?
Yeah, let's go. You're heartless for this one, but go for it.
Yeah, Mandy Rose when she tripped on the WrestleMania stage. I think it's just one of them ones that it wasn't expected. It had been raining at WrestleMania. It wasn't expected. She's here doing the strut. Her and Dana Brooke. I remember them coming out and thinking, these two women are wearing nothing. This is like the 90s. They're wearing nothing. And then I think she's wearing the big old sunglasses, and she just literally slips on, I'm sure, what was a rainy surface. And that popped me.
So there it is, Mandy Rose slipping. That is Mex's nomination for the funniest moment of the year. Let's get straight to the next one. Breakout star of the year for 2021. Any honourable mentions for you?
Dante Martin. Literally could have won this. I guess I kind of cheated in the end of who my winner is, but I think Dante Martin had a very, very good year. Carmelo Hayes on NXT. He's come on and he's kind of got the rub of Shawn Michaels, which is always good. North American champion right now, handing out challenges to some of the best in NXT. Gargano, Pete Dunne, winning.
With Carmelo, how long do you think he's going to be able to sustain this top rope leg scissors thing, man? Because they always say that is the worst move to give in it. That
because of the back.
That.
Yeah. You never know. It may take one injury before someone a bit wiser, a bit older, has a little whisper in his ear, like, all right, park that one to the side, son, before you do yourself some serious damage. But with the young, they'll keep doing it until they hurt themselves. If you don't, what's the saying? If you don't listen,
broke, don't fix it. Oh,
well, yeah, there's that as well. But then if you, what's the one? If you don't hear, you'll feel.
Oh, if you
don't hear people telling you this isn't a good idea until you hurt yourself, then you'll understand what they're telling you. So yeah, if you don't hear, you'll feel.
I feel like you might use that on your son daily. Maybe is that a regular?
I will be using it. But right now he's all
right. So yeah, who takes it for you? Breakout star of the year.
Like I said, it's a bit of a cheat, but ultimately my winner is Bianca Belair. The year she has had, and she was hanging around on the main roster a tiny bit at the back end of last year. From January this year, they have strapped a rocket to her, and she isn't someone that's crumbled under the pressure. She has gone all the way, winning the Royal Rumble, challenging Sasha Banks at WrestleMania, the first night, the main event, winning the title, tangled with all the horsewomen that were on the show throughout that entire period. Charlotte came back; she's involved with Charlotte as well. Becky obviously beat her for the title. So what do they call it? Soul Survivor, a Survivor Series, as well. I don't know how much stock anyone puts in Survivor Series, but I guess it counts for something. Yeah, it's not just what she's doing in the ring, doing in WWE. They've got her doing the media stuff. They've got her doing the ambassador roles and all of that kind of stuff. Somewhat so, like I look at Montez Ford that's often next to her, and I'm just like, he must be thinking like, must be happy for his wife, of course, but like at
give
the
me
same
more
time,
too.
yeah, like, and we all have high hopes for Montez Ford. So, he's probably watching and learning the ropes, and when his time comes, the boy's gonna fly. So it's a bit of a cheat, I get, but it is a breakout year, on the main roster. So I'll give it to Bianca Belair.
Yeah, I mean, she an established name, but certainly this year has definitely been a breakout year and breakout performance from her. So completely get it, man. Next up, always a fun one for wrestling fans. Promo of the year. Any honourable mentions?
Promo of the year. I'm trying to think of what some honorable mentions could be now that I think about it. There's nothing that really. I loved Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega just before they had their match. This was on Dynamite, I think, and all of a sudden the wacky side of Kenny Omega died and he got super serious. I thought that was really good. Will Ospreay going to challenge Okada, that wasn't too long ago. And everything he had to say, I thought was
Or
terrific.
even Osprey. I failed to mention it on my nominations, but definitely I think Osprey coming out on strong with the suit, with the real belt.
Yeah,
Like
that
that
one
was
as
a
well.
strong promo, man. Just
That one as well.
like he was talking the truth as well, saying like, you take this belt away from me after not defending it for 4 months, and John Moxley's running around with the US title for however
Yeah,
long.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, man, strong. So who wins it for you, promo of the year? Or
My
who's
promo
your
of the
nomination?
year, it had to be Eddie Kingston and Punk. For me, this is, and I don't mean it in a derogatory way, but this is what Punk is best at. This is what, if anything, they should have brought him back to do, to really come and sell a fight, because that's what he could do. And his perfect foil was Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston is just as real as it gets. Like the amount of passion in my guy. And it's like, you do know that wrestling's not real, Eddie. Like
He
this is
doesn't. He
he
still calls
doesn't
it a
know.
fight. He'll say, I need to fight this person. It's nothing
Yeah.
like there's no wrestling, it's fight. It's a fight.
The one thing I didn't like about that promo was Eddie saying, "I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to fight you. I just want to beat you up." And I thought,
Yeah.
don't say that, because we already all kind of know Punk's gonna win. Now you've just kind of said, well, I don't care if he wins, sort of thing.
Yeah. It'd
However,
be different if maybe like the outcome of the match was a no contest and it had ended with Eddie just battering him or whatever.
yeah.
That would have worked. But yeah, I totally get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but everything they said, from the lines about talking about what happened back in the day in Ring of Honor, and basically CM Punk playing the John Cena role, and Eddie Kingston is CM Punk all of a sudden from back in the day. I just thought it was brilliant. They sold a match that I probably did not care about at all, to me,
In like 2 weeks, wasn't it? Like,
done. Even before the 2 weeks came, that segment alone, 15-20 minutes, I was sold. I was like, I want that match tomorrow. Like,
yeah, man.
and then of course, like we said, like a following week, we saw the whole car park stuff that was going on between them as well. Yeah, I think that is one of the strongest promos from both people. Usually we talk about a promo segment, it's just one person dominating, or even if it's two people in the ring, one person still kind of dominates, but both men there, that's them on form, that they done bits that night.
Yeah, just the peeling back the curtain and the reality of it, and they were saying real stuff to each other.
Exactly,
Saying
yeah.
about how Eddie doesn't put the work in and this that, and Eddie said it himself. So yeah, that's blurring the lines is where it always kind of works, unless you're
100%.
Vince talking about firing people. But
You won't let this go.
I won't. Moving on, match of the year. This is always a tough one. I struggled with this. Honourable mentions, Mex.
There has been a lot of candidates, man.
So many.
Danielson and Kenny Omega was fantastic.
Yeah,
Danielson and Hangman was fantastic. Um, I loved Edge and Cesaro's WrestleMania match. I loved Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks WrestleMania match. I loved Roman Reigns, Danielson again, and Edge WrestleMania match. I can't who Ray Phoenix and Kenny Omega at the top of
yeah,
the
that was
year.
early, wasn't it? Yeah,
Oh my god, brilliant match. Who finished second in my mind for this when you asked me? Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa at the top of the
same.
year again. Fantastic match. But Lucha Bros and Young Bucks are my winners.
Yeah,
That has got to be the best cage match I've watched in my life.
100%. I honestly don't think there is a cage match, one-on-one tag that edges that at all. Crazy
Yeah.
match. What else kind of solidified that for you for match of the year?
From the minute go, I think you see when matches there's the usual the tie-ups and all of that kind of traditional wrestling and putting someone in a hold and all of that. And with it being a tag match with these two tag teams, we were never going to get that anyway. The fact that this wasn't a regular tag match where someone was outside the ring, you have to tag someone in, like it was literally from the minute go that cage was secured and the referee held the belt up and said this for the tag team titles. Right, we're on smoke 0 to 100, and they just went all the way. Like the Bucks have caused a lot of trouble this year. Like people don't like them, people, and they're wind up merchants, and I love it because they get it. That these guys haven't got to the point of building their own company because they're dopes. They get it, sort of thing, and they continue to work the internet wrestling community and get draw them out, sort of thing. They did that in this match with the Jordan ones thrown over, which I keep saying Cutler needs his flowers for that because he could have got that wrong and the whole spot just looks a bit meh. Like
Yeah.
he threw that thing over first time. These lot got it. Studs in the bottom of the Jordan one. Super kicks with them studs.
Which Matt Jackson did all himself, by the way. Like,
He
he did all
self put
that.
those in.
Yeah, yeah. Did that himself.
I mean, I'm putting a lot of emphasis here on the Young Bucks. The Lucha Bros more than played their part, and even in the I think it was like some tag team eliminator tournament to get there as the number one contenders, they played their part throughout that tournament. Penta is I never knew that I never thought Phoenix would be better than Penta, and then
Same.
since AEW began, Phoenix has just said, mate, I'm on TV. I'm running with this sort of thing.
Yeah,
And
man.
Phoenix is just absolutely phenomenal every time we see him. I just wish between travel issues and maybe illness and stuff, these men can just sort themselves out and just be on TV consistently every week. But
There's
yeah,
been a
man.
lot of pack kind of taking place and like
Even
taking
Pac as
Phoenix's
well, like
place or
Pac travel issues or this, that, and the other. Death Triangle hasn't ever really got started for us, but
nah, not really.
this match, especially again, watching this match with yourself, our other friends and stuff like that all together, and it's like no one was sitting down. I've watched the footage back so many times. No one was sitting down.
And the pop when Lucha Brothers won, like that was genuinely like everyone like it's all good like cheering when someone wins, but that
Yeah.
was like scoring like a goal in the 90th minute for your team. Like
Yeah.
it was insanity.
The
My
the
favorite
false
spot.
finishes throughout the match as well.
Yeah, man.
Like it literally, it wasn't like a oh, is it? It literally had you every single time. Like
Because it was very like you can't always bet against the Bucks. Although we kind of thought it
yeah,
was Lucha Brothers' time, it wasn't certain. My favorite spot of that match was just the going round, the super kick, the super kick, the super kick, the nip up, the
yeah,
nip up, the nip up, like just so well like thought of. Like who's gone right? How do we do this? And it just
yeah.
worked. Like the build of it, like that was
and
special,
and
special
and
match.
people hated that match and generally hate the box matches because of the choreography and all of that kind of stuff. I know the quote unquote purists don't like things like that, the choreography and the spot fests and all of that. But this was basically how you do it. I haven't
Yeah, man.
seen a spot fest or a choreography kind of put together match like this as good as, you know, maybe seeing Will Ospreay and Ricochet back in New Japan, or when they fought here in the UK for, was it What Culture Wrestling or something like that. I haven't seen a match this cleanly done, everything executed, and the spots just, you know, wowing you every single time. So yeah, big up Lucha Bros and Young Bucks. That match is phenomenal, honestly.
Yeah, if you're watching, guys, thanks for that match.
Yeah, trust.
Cool. Moving on. Tag team of the year. I think it's a pretty obvious choice for a lot of people. Is there any honourable mentions for you?
Usos, I would say, they've looked, particularly Jay Uso. I feel like this assignment as the right hand man of Roman Reigns, Jay Uso just gets it. Like he's getting, like, you could, you know, someone that's wanted to be a roadman all their life. Like he really is embodying this right hand man thing since Jimmy's
It's
come
that
back as
Samoan
well.
blood, bruv. It's that
Yeah. I
Samoan
don't know
blood,
what them
man.
men are
They're
drinking over
all
there.
road. They're all road. They're all
Trust.
road.
But yeah, the Usos have been really good. New Day, obviously, very good as well. I feel like FTR haven't quite had the year they should have.
Nah, it's a shame.
Although obviously when we see them, they're still a top tag team. Lucha Bros, again, their run to the title, really good. Since they become champions, hasn't really been the most exciting of things. But I'll give it to the Young Bucks. They are, for me, the best tag team in the world. When for what tag team wrestling is kind of supposed to be, again, there will be a purist answer, which is probably FTR, and then there is a, you know, I guess the indie answer, or the new way of wrestling, if you like. But Young Bucks they move with the times, they get it, they are phenomenal. And again, shout out to Nick Jackson, because this guy is, I always feel like, especially back in New Japan days, Matt was the one. Matt still seems like somewhat the front man of the Bucks, if you like.
Yeah,
But
the voice, or you could say,
yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah. But Nick Jackson is the man in terms of
I
character,
just
in terms of in ring. Nick Jackson is the man.
you beat me too. I was gonna just start giving Nick some praise as well. Just like the opening spots in a Young Bucks match where you've got Nick on the other side of either Phoenix or Dante Martin or whoever it may be, like Jungle Boy, like he just finds a way to put on some like just thrilling like sequences with all these people, and like
Yeah.
I get gas just to see whoever Nick's up against in that ring. Like, I really want to see some more singles Nick matches this year, I think, man, because like when Matt was out, was it last year, weren't it? Like Matt was out for a bit with an injury, and yeah. Shout out Matt's flying elbow though, man. That goes unnoticed. He's got a
Matt
beautiful
is
flying
hard.
elbow.
Matt's sick,
Yeah.
and I think he definitely works as, you know, the older brother, the front man and stuff like that. But I don't know what it is like even more. Obviously, I watch these guys in Japan, seeing them now on US TV or Western TV. Something Nick is like coming into his own a bit more, and
Yeah.
he's sick. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, well deserved. They were also my pick as well. I think it's going to be pretty tight in that category, to be honest. Moving on, female wrestler of the year. Any honourable mentions?
Britt Baker. I think Britt Baker's done tremendous work. She is that division. Like she is the AEW women's division. And if they ever lost her like immediately without anyone else kind of being ready, they would be in a lot of trouble.
Big old gap. She would leave a
Yeah,
big old gap.
100%. So on top of everything, she just needs to stay healthy. And we've seen even when she is unhealthy, when she's not fit, she's still on TV doing something and keeping herself relevant. So Britt Baker's been very, very good. In terms of just in-ring matches and quality, I'd have to say Thunder Rosa. She really impressed me. Before she came over to AEW, I had seen bits of her here and there, but yeah, she's another one that is, you know, the minute they put the belt on her, probably sometime next year, we're going to see a lot of good matches, and I hope they really do do something for that women's division in terms of putting her over a bit more.
Just on Thunder Rosa, do you think she's being used too little, enough, or because the crowd are behind her? Like whenever she comes out, the crowd go nuts. So there's part of me that thinks, well, you're probably using her the right amount. But then the other side of me is like, I want to see more Thunder Rosa. Like, where do you stand on that?
I think they're managing it because, like I've been saying, yeah, on my channel, they've made this mistake already with Jade Cargill. They've given Jade Cargill like enough wins and a very good record where ultimately she should be challenging Britt Baker for the title. But they know, one, she's probably not ready for that. Two, she's not in story, should be the person to beat Britt Baker. Now what do we do? So they've almost kind of had to slow down Thunder Rosa's rise so that they don't have the same issue. So yeah, Thunder Rosa right now, as of time of recording, is semi-final of the TBS title, the championship. Is she still in it? In fact, I can't even remember. She's yeah. She's facing Jade Cargill semi-final. Yeah. I expect Jade Cargill to beat her. So she leaves the championship, and then she'll circle around to Britt Baker. Yeah, I think ultimately they're just holding her back so that by the time she organically gets to become number one contender in the division, then she could take the belt off Britt Baker, because yeah, right now Jade Cargill should be the number one contender for the AEW women's title. But yeah.
So who wins it for you this year? Female of the year?
Bianca Belair again. She's nicking all the awards, but I just feel like she's conquered everything they've put in front of her. The only thing they didn't give her was women's Money in the Bank, and she was champion. That's why. Royal Rumble, she won. A main event, of WrestleMania night one. She not only main evented it, she won there. She held the belt. I think apart from Becky, she may have beaten, or she may even have like a DQ win over Becky, beating all of the horsewomen this year, which is obviously a big thing in WWE. So I just think she's fantastic. Again, someone that's just taken to a sport that she probably had no idea existed, 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. And yeah, she's just making waves in it all the time, setting examples. Yeah, she's been fantastic this year.
I completely agree. She was also my nomination as well. Like the Sasha match could have been match of the year for a lot of people. And yeah, she's just so impressive, man. And just her look, her everything, like she's just got it, man. And yeah, I can't wait to see more of her.
Yeah.
Male wrestler of the year. This is the big one. Some honourable mentions.
I got to shout out the guy you hate, Roman Reigns. I think he's done well. The character and everything, that he's portraying, it's feeling like it's getting a bit boring, feeling like it's getting a bit stale, but that's only because WWE have failed to build up guys that we believe can actually beat him. So I think next year, we've got Lesnar, we got Drew McIntyre, possibly Walter, are three really good names, even if he's not champion anymore, for him to just face. So yeah, Roman's had a great year. Kenny Omega's had a great year. Started off slow with his title run, but Kenny Omega's he's just phenomenal. Like he's just absolutely phenomenal. So big up him. I would say another one that I was actually thinking about. Obviously, we done the tier ranking video, and you weren't too happy with this pick, but Bobby Lashley. I was thinking about it today when I was watching Raw. I think Bobby Lashley, by his standards, has had a very, very good year. Undefeated for like 9 months. WWE champion for probably about 6-7 months in the year, at least. He's done some really, really good stuff. Miro as well, I think, was absolutely phenomenal this year. Like it's kind of annoying to me that he lost the belt to Sammy Guevara, and yeah, he's just like off TV a bit right now, which is fine. AEW tend to manage their roster pretty well in terms of giving people fair amount of time on TV and off TV. Be interesting to see what he does going into 2022. But my winner is Bryan Danielson. From Daniel Bryan to Bryan Danielson. Even in our chat and stuff, people were saying that Danielson didn't do much in his last few months at the top of the year in WWE. Like, he wasn't being booked into like massively great positions apart from WrestleMania, but he was
Wasn't he?
having gone.
Wasn't he doing the booking for a lot of the start of the year? I'm sure he was.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put the likes of Gulak and these guys on. So
Yeah, exactly. He was having matches with these guys, and that's what I'm looking at. He wasn't in like prominent positions, but he was still having like the matches that we're commending him now with, like the likes of Bobby Fish and all these other guys he's been fighting on AEW since he's arrived, apart from, you know, the big names. He was having those names with that caliber of talent on WWE TV. So that's why I'm fully rating it, even though, yeah, it wasn't, you know, building towards anything, because that's not how WWE book their stuff. Like I said, he got kind of shoved into the Roman and Edge program, which didn't really make sense. But for me, I felt he was probably the saving grace of what was a failing program going into WrestleMania. You know, just before he left the company, he wrestled Roman in a one-on-one match. His first match when he got to AEW, he wrestled Kenny Omega in a 60 or 30-minute classic. He's since then went on to turn heel. We're seeing a bit of the character of him really shining through again. The Danielson character of old, from those that were watching him before WWE. And then, you know, recently he's had that 60-minute match with Hangman, which we're still debating whether the whole 60 minutes was needed or not. But at essence, the match was fantastic. And for someone to win, for me, and maybe for many others, Wrestler of the Year without holding a championship for the whole 12 months, I mean, it goes to show like match quality was everything. I'm not a work rate pervert, like Roy Johnson would say.
shout out all the work rate perverts out there.
I wouldn't quite say I'm a work rate pervert, but this guy's work rate and what he puts on is absolutely fantastic. And without a championship, he has still managed to captivate, engage others, get his new character or old character, if you like, across again. So yeah, so much so that, you know, I'm sure I wasn't the only person hoping that Danielson beat Hangman for that title. But yeah, of course that wasn't going to happen. But no, Danielson, he wins it for me.
Yeah, definitely deserved nomination. Like, now you've said about not even holding the title, that's even put it into more perspective for me. I didn't even really think about that, but you're so right. Like, he's not held a belt. Like, the character change, like in one promo, like for him to just do that and have the confidence to be able to even attempt to get the crowd to boo him, like just yeah, constant matches that are just brilliant that I would go back for this year. So yeah, well-deserved nomination. So those are all of Mex's nominations done. This is how we are looking for the nominations for this year's awards. So they're up on the screen now. Male Wrestler of the Year, we have Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, and Darby Allin. The nominations for Female Wrestler of the Year are Britt Baker and Bianca Belair. Nominations for Tag Team of the Year are Young Bucks and RK Bro. Nominations for Match of the Year, so Bushi versus Jay White, Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers, Walter versus Ilya Dragunov, and Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Promo of the Year, we have MJF versus CM Punk, CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston, and CM Punk's return. Can tell who the real Mike Man this year was. Breakout Star of the Year, the nominations are Dante Martin, Daniel Garcia, Bianca Belair, and Rex Steiner. I refuse to call him Braun Breaker. And the nominations for Funniest Moment of the Year, Maki Ito singing on the entrance ramp, Hangman refusing the Dark Order's proposal, Paul Heyman singing John Cena's theme, and Mandy Rose slipping at WrestleMania. So the poll will go up tomorrow, guys. Make sure you vote. It will be up for a whole week. I will be posting it constantly on Twitter. Make sure you're following myself, GG on Wrestling on Twitter, so you can vote. Make sure you follow Mex. Make sure you follow WrestleManiac UK. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. I swear to God, you're missing out if you're not subscribed. So much good stuff. But that is it. Thank you so much, Mex, for your nominations. Are you feeling confident about your nominations?
I'm feeling confident about some of them, but generally, I mean, just looking at that list, that graphic that you put up, a hell of a lot of good moments. Like I said at the top of this, man, we've been spoilt this year as wrestling fans, and this is what I keep saying. It may come across like I'm like pro one side or against the other. I just want good wrestling throughout. I'm holding WWE accountable. I'm holding AEW accountable. New Japan need to pull their finger out their ass and give us something good, because this 3-night Wrestle Kingdom stuff, even with the help of Noah, I don't know what they're doing. Like, as fans, we just need to keep demanding more, because at least we know one of these companies in AEW are listening. So we need to keep demanding more, and we're gonna get what we deserve in terms of good TV, good wrestling. So yeah, man, it's been a honor to be one of the voices, one of the nominators for this. I'm hoping everyone votes, because I want to see what should come out on top.
I'm hoping Danielson wins. Like I can't even. He wasn't my nomination, but he deserves it the most, 100%. But that's it, people. Make sure you have your say. Make sure you visit figteas.co.uk as well. Use code GGPod, save yourself some money. Make sure you subscribe to Mex. Make sure you subscribe here as well. And that is it. Respect yourself. Don't neglect yourself. Peace.